This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Hello, guys, and welcome to an impromptu PrimeTime Blitz brought to you by C2C Entertainment Network. I'm the host, Big B, along with my fellow co-host, the center of our team, Crispy Bacon. How you doing?
Doing good. Yeah, there's a lot going on today. A lot of movement in the NFL. We're here to talk about it.
Yep, a lot of old faces and new places. And speaking of an old face, we got Kevin Cherry. How you doing, bud?
Oh, doing pretty good. Just getting over being sick here the last
Okay.
couple of days. But we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's that time of year getting sick, but yeah, normally we'd jump in, talk some wrestling, but tonight is a special night. It was the tampering period, which officially free agency doesn't start until Wednesday, 3 o'clock Central Time, I believe. But today, man, almost everybody got paid that was a free agent. But first off, guys, let's talk about the big trade that happened a couple of days ago. I think kind of shocked on. I don't think the player that got traded was shocking, but I think where he landed, and if I remember right, the Ravens gave out 2 first-round picks this year and next year to get Max Crosby from the Raiders. Kevin, what do you think of that trade overall?
A little upset about it because, one, I thought my Bears were for sure going to pursue him heavily. And then two...
Or they might have.
They could have. But two, the Ravens, like, they have a solid team on paper, but they perform terribly.
Yeah.
So I think, him going there, hopefully it's not the same results as it's been, where you bring in these big names and you guys still perform and you're still, underperforming and not being as good as you can be.
Yeah, no, I was shocked because I actually did think he was coming to the North, either going to pair him up in Detroit or pair him up in Chicago. It wouldn't shock me if the Ravens are like, okay, we'll give you 2 first and we'll take on all his contract, because I don't think the Raiders are on the hook for any of it. I could be wrong on the finalized part of it, but Chris, what do you think on Crosby going to the Ravens?
Yeah, they're talking here in Dallas like he could have got came here and signed here. I don't know Jerry, but I mean, Jerry talks a big game, and he probably says, yeah, we were in the mix for him. Maybe they were, but it didn't happen. I wasn't holding my breath on if that would be fruition, and it wasn't. As for the Raiders, if the Ravens don't renegotiate his contract, I believe the Raiders will be on a 30-minute per year hit.
Oh, really? Okay. So there's a little bit.
On their cap.
So, okay, gotcha. So, yeah. So, I mean, by the looks of that trade and by the looks of what the Raiders just did first night of free agency, they're all in. They're in full rebuild mode. I mean, they went out and I think they did 7 signings today, but I mean, for the trade itself, I mean, they got a hit on those 2 first-round picks. Or right now, the Ravens had the better of the deal because we know what Cosby's all about. Those 2 first-round picks are just right now just a gamble. I mean, if they hit on them, the trade looks a lot different. But if they swing and miss, then the trade looks like the Ravens got everybody. But overall, guys woke up. Tampering period started, and I don't know about you guys, but my notifications are going off.
Every 10
Probably, God, at least one every 5 minutes. It seemed like I was getting them.
Same here.
But let's talk about. I think the big one. First off, Miami.
Yeah.
They're gonna be on the hook for $99 million of Tua's contract to cut him. And then he goes and signs with the Falcons. So first off, Cherry, what do you think Miami's doing? Was that a smart move to, just cut Tua for $99 million that they can't use for the next 2 years?
I mean, honestly, I'm not against it. He hasn't performed. He's always injured. You just signed Malik Willis. You have the young backup quarterback as well.
Yep.
You got. I think you released Tyreek Hill, right? I think he's gone.
Yeah, I think they cut ties with Hill. Yep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, personally, I'm not, against it because, Tua he hasn't really performed.
Yeah.
And he's kind of been disappointing.
But the thing is, I mean, you got $99 million. I think they're splitting it up to over 2 years. So I mean, you got $45 million that you can't throw anywhere else. So, I mean, the Dolphins fan base have to understand that right now they're sitting on a semi rebuild. I mean, yeah, you just went out and signed Willis, who I mean, for what 8-9 starts with the Packers over the last couple of years, got paid, a pretty hefty lump sum there for 3 years, I think. So
he did start for Tennessee.
Yeah,
he was a starter in Tennessee.
Yeah, he was a starter in Tennessee. He had high hopes, didn't fan out, but he went to. I heard a lot of media talk this over the last couple of days that Willis. His stats in Green Bay were way better than what everybody thought. His completion percentage, his quarterback rating, his touchdown to interceptions. They said that don't be surprised if he gets paid, and people are like, nah, he's not going to get paid. Everybody's going to look at what he did in the beginning of his career. But yeah, no, he got paid. But so Chris, before we talk about Atlanta signing Tua, what do you think? What's Miami doing? I mean, $99 million sitting there, just held up for 2 years. I mean, what do you think?
I know. As the Dolphins, they did sign Malik Willis, but now you're probably looking at signing a quarterback in the draft or drafting a quarterback in that draft. As well as possibly a receiver, because you did get rid of Tyreek Hill.
Carson Beck. Carson Beck.
Maybe because he's local there, but
yep.
But you could say you could go to Ohio or something like that. I don't know, but they need a quarterback. They need a receiver. You can get both. You can get both of those in free agency, but I also will get them in the draft. And then you got, a lot of money to. Well, not a lot of money because now you got to burn some of it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think I don't know what Miami's thinking. I mean, I know a couple Miami fans, but I know they like that kid they got last year, so I don't know if they'd be rushing to draft a quarterback this year. let Malik and God, I wish I could think of the kid's name now.
Quinn Ewers.
Yeah. So let them battle it out and see where it goes. But Atlanta, I mean, now you got, Tua there, who I think is probably going to be the backup, maybe a starter if they don't think Penix is it. But then, you got Penix that, is in second year, third year. You also got Cousins because I don't think they officially released him yet. So, I mean, all signs.
No, I think they're going to do it the day after. Like, they're going to do it Thursday.
Yeah, they did post.
Yeah, I do think they have said they're going to cut him. I mean, the writing's on the wall there. But, I mean, so Atlanta signs Tua, who we know is injury, ridden and, especially with the concussions. But, Kevin, what's that saying in Atlanta? You got Penix, you got Tua, two left-handed quarterbacks, so that might be something that might help the receivings because the balls comes out of the hands differently versus lefties and righties. So what do you think?
Well, I mean, it seems like Atlanta's been loving lefty QBs. You got Michael Vick, then you got Michael Penix, now you got Tua. So, I don't know. I mean, it seems like they're just keeping it like that, apparently. I mean, I don't know if they're planning on bringing Tua in for the veteran presence for Michael Penix, but I mean, I know Michael Penix had that gruesome injury last year, so I wonder if they were feeling pressured to bring in a quarterback as well because they were planning on releasing Cousins.
Yeah, well, I mean, and the thing is, I mean, Cousins is not bad, but of course he's coming off, a leg injury his first year in Atlanta a couple years ago, so he's not a young chicken either. So, but yeah, that money is sitting there. It'll be interesting to see where Cousins go. Chris, what do you think in Atlanta there?
It almost feels like the Penix draft again, where we're like, and I can't remember who was. I think it was Cousins at the time who was starting for the Falcons when Penix got drafted, but we were sitting in that draft like, there's, we don't uh, we don't see Atlanta picking a quarterback.
Yep.
And then they do. So it's almost like that situation again where it's like,
I think it was right before the Vikings drafted McCarthy, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah.
So it's like, is it Penix or is it somebody else? It's kind of like rewriting that history again, except in free agency. Maybe his rehab's going a little slower, and they needed a veteran backup, maybe to start a game or two.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and that's the thing is I think you're breeding. I mean, they may say it's a open competition, but I think it leans towards Penix to be the starter, with Tua being there just in case he's not fully healthy. But
and I think next year, if you're gonna go for a quarterback, is the better draft year to get one. From what I'm hearing.
Well, yeah, and that's another thing too. A lot of teams, a lot of media, don't take quarterback this year because next year you got Arch Manning coming out, and so we'll see how that plays out. But to me, the biggest surprise, I think, of day one here was Kenneth Walker III leaving Seattle, going to Kansas City. I think he got 4 years, 130 million, 80 some guaranteed. But Kevin, what is your thoughts on Kenneth Walker's Super Bowl MVP leaving Seattle after a good season, going to Kansas City?
Well, Kansas City better learn to get a good rushing offensive line because the last couple years the Chiefs' offense rushing has been atrocious.
Yeah.
So you're gonna bring in K9. You better hope, one, you use them, and two, you better build that offensive line to help the rushing game
Mm-hmm.
because he's going to want the ball. He's going to want to run, especially with Rice being in trouble again. You got old man Kelsey, Worthy, not always healthy. So, you need to start thinking about the run game because they've been a pass first offense for years.
Yep. No, I mean, and Walker is a dangerous back. I mean, he can't come out of the backfield catch, but they definitely still got to open up holes for him. I mean, he can't do it all on the swing passes and stuff like that. And Kelsey coming back. I mean, you got Mahomes who's slated to miss, I think, the first 9 or 10 weeks right now. So, I mean, it's not going to be the same Kansas City team that we are used to seeing. But Chris, Walker to Kansas City, what was your initial thoughts?
That is surprising. I know it's hard to get back to a Super Bowl, no matter if you're going in free agency or not. But having one of your star players, your MVP player, not be there anymore, that kind of leaves a big gaping hole there. Not just in the position, but part of morale and leadership there possibly. And it's kind of surprising they would do that, but I'm not sure.
No, I get it.
You know what I think now is,
Yeah.
is Seattle just going to run it with Zach Charbonnet, or are they going to draft a running back like Jeremiah Love?
Well, they're not going to be. I mean, they're going to have to move up really high to get Love because Love is projected to go top 5 for sure, top 10, unless he drops. So, I mean, they're going to have to get a lot to go up to get Love. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I mean, this changes a lot of things. I mean, outside the first overall pick, which I think everybody's going to say is Mariota. I mean, a lot of these moves change what your draft status is going to look like. So, and speaking of holding the line together, Chicago, they went out and I think traded with the Patriots and got Bradbury, who was a former Viking, went to New England. I think became a Pro Bowler, if I'm not right, or if I'm not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And now he joins, which I got to believe, Kevin, you might be happy to hear this, but I got to believe his going to be the leader of the North. I think the Bears are going to stay up there. I know they traded away DJ Moore, but
I mean, we got a second round pick for DJ Moore.
Yeah.
And
So, but I mean, but what do you think about Bradbury coming to Chicago to anchor that line?
I mean, we finessed the Patriots for a 5th round pick.
Yeah.
You get one of the best centers in the game
Vikings
for 5th round.
draft, if I remember right, and Chris, maybe you can look it up. Bradbury, I think, was a 3rd overall pick or 3rd round pick. I should say overall, but I think Bradbury was a 3rd round pick. So
all I gotta say is they're just lucky we didn't get that Ravens center that they were going to go after. That what is it? Lindstrom was his name?
I think you're right there. So while Chris is looking that up, the Vikings, they did not. I mean, they renegotiated a couple contracts. I think they got a couple minor guys, but Naylor, who I thought the Vikings could have kept, he goes to the Raiders. I mean, so he's going to be, at least a number 3 there, maybe a number 2, but he goes there. Kevin, what can we say about the Raiders? I mean, they're holding 2 first-round draft picks this year.
Was it James Bradbury?
No, Garrett Bradbury, I think it is.
Yeah.
But the Raiders are going to look like a whole new team next year.
I mean, the Raiders, they also signed that Lindstrom at center, so they helped that offensive line, which they needed to do.
Yep.
Because Geno Smith was atrocious. I'm not saying if he had a line he was to be any better, but it's going to help Genty. It's going to help him open up, the floodgates. You're getting all these fast weapons That's a big loss for Minnesota.
Yep.
I'm just, I'm curious to see what Minnesota's going to do with their running backs. I think they don't have any right now.
I know they do. They got Mason. They got another young kid back there. But again, with Minnesota, I mean, first with the Raiders, yeah, they're getting faster. The defense might take a hit with Kyle Cosby, so it'll be interesting to see how they address that in the draft or the rest of the free agency. If now that they assure their offensive line, I'm more sold on them staying at number one and taking Minnesota. I was in favor, if I was to run the Raiders, is to move back, get some assets, trade back a couple of times in the first round and grab some assets, and then turn it up in the late 20s, early 30s to make some moves and get like 2 first round picks late. So, but
Bradbury was drafted by the Vikings with the overall pick.
What pick?
18. First
Oh, that's right. He was a first round pick. Okay, so
another thing I was reading is, and I don't know if it's true or not, but the Raiders were talking about not even starting Mendoza.
Oh no! If I am the Raiders, I honestly, if I'm any team that has a young quarterback that they're thinking about drafting, I do what the Packers do. I stash them for a couple years, let them sit and learn, and then let him come out, a couple years into it and, see what he does. I mean, the Packers have done that for years, and we talked about it on this show. The Packers have the best quarterback grooming.
Yeah, but then you think of it this way, Brandon, is then do you do what you say at that point? Because if you're going to keep letting, actually, I think, did they release Geno Smith?
Yes, they did.
Yeah. Geno's a free agent. Yeah.
So who's their starter right now?
We don't know.
Well, yeah,
someone just signed Kenny Pickett.
Pickett went to
Carolina. Did
Carolina?
Yeah, that's right.
Carolina signed him. I mean, could Kirk Cousins land there? I mean, there's a couple of valuable options. I mean, do they make a trade with the Raiders to get Mac Jones? I mean, but Chris, I didn't see much adding to the Cowboys. I saw some people gone, but
we got one. I mean, Jalen Thompson. We signed him for a 3-year, $36 million. That's all we did.
Okay. Then you got Rashawn Gary, right?
We put Pickens on a first round
10-year, I
think, and then a second round tender on Aubrey, which is stupid.
Yeah. And speaking of moving, I mean, Travis Etienne going from the Jags to the Saints. I mean, I know the Saints ain't much to write home about, but Kamara's got to be worried about that. He's going to be getting cut here. So,
Kamara could be a option for the Vikings at running back.
Yeah, and I actually thought about that. That Kamara still's got some, tread on the tires as they call it. But is he is he still the stud that he was back in the day? No. So, but the Vikings, I mean, they still got to get way under the cap before they even think about, making a big splash. And that's one thing too. The Vikings didn't do nothing, but they had no money to really throw out there. I know. I would say if I'm a betting guy, Kyler Murray will probably be signed by
Minnesota.
He'll be. I believe he'll be in Minnesota by the end of the week. Signed.
Or do you think it'll be Aaron Rodgers?
No.
Hey, listen.
I'll tell you guys right now. I mean, I love
you once this week.
What's that?
Sports have upsetted you once this week.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys right now that if it's not that I don't like Aaron Rodgers. I mean, the guy's got talent. I mean, he's a proven winner. He's just it's not the Brett Favre. It's not okay. And I
went 2 other teams before Minnesota.
Yeah. But the thing is I've always been a Brett Favre fan. I wanted him here, even for that last 2 years. Aaron Rodgers, he just brings too much drama.
Yeah.
But if the Vikings do sign Aaron Rodgers, I will be boycott my fandom for this year.
I mean,
I'll
if I'm Rodgers, I want to stay in Pittsburgh with the addition of the stuff that they just got today.
they just actually signed a nice little running back there too. But I mean, again, the Vikings don't have an offensive line. They got to build that offensive line. I mean, it doesn't matter who your quarterback is. He's going to get beat up. I mean, so they need to address that offensive line before. If I'm a quarterback, I would want to come here. I mean, yeah, you got Jefferson to throw to. You got Hawkinson when he's healthy. Addison if he can pull his head out of his mistakes. But
Yeah.
I'd be worried that I'd be getting a concussion by week 2 or 3 or even second play of the game. I mean, so the Vikings definitely need to worry about that offensive line. But if they do sign Kyler Murray, I'd say it's an open competition, and the best one wins. I know a lot of people say, well, if Kyler Murray starts, then you got to can Jefferson or you got to can McCarthy. And I'm just like, no, he's still young enough. But
When do you think, for a drafted player, any position or any round, how long do you give them before you're like,
wow.
I don't think it's going to work?
I mean, if you're Chicago, you give him 2.
I mean, and that's the whole thing. I mean, it's all about win now. So, that's one thing that sucks about the quarterbacks because if they get in there, they get into a situation. Let's just take the Raiders for example. You got Mendoza who just came off of a national championship year, going to be the first overall pick. He's going into a rebuild Raiders team. If he doesn't do nothing year one, now you're talking about the sophomore slump. So how bad is it going to get? I mean, if he had, but again, if he turns around and has a CJ Stroud type of year where he almost, takes the tax, or even Jay Daniels, and almost goes to the Super Bowl. Okay, now what's year 2 going to look like? Year 3, quarterbacks. I think they get a little bit of grace period depending on the team. But all the other positions, I mean, pretty much if you're healthy, you're there. I mean, there's no timeline. It's always put on the quarterbacks on, how long do you give a quarterback until you got to trade them and stuff like that. Everybody else is, he's still producing, he's still growing and stuff like that. So it's kind of hard to say, but, quarterbacks, I think, get the short end of the stick on that for sure. So, but Colts re-signed Pierce to a nice little contract, which I think some Colts fans, even Tim, might be surprised about because they put their money on Danny Dimes. But if Pierce is healthy, I mean, he's number one option there. He can definitely help whoever grow over there. So, Chris, what are some other big names that are going to get a new home?
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans, yeah.
I was going to say Mike Evans.
Yeah, going to
49ers.
Niners, yeah. That's up to go to a division rival. Pair them up with Purdy and Kittle and
CMC.
CMC, yeah. So, what do you guys think about that move? I mean, it's shocking, but I mean, do you think the Niners get better? I mean, Kevin, what do you think?
I thought Mike Evans was going to be a buck for life.
Yeah.
Personally. But I mean, yeah, he definitely makes the 49ers, 10 times better because their receivers have not been healthy. I mean,
that is true.
Your leading receiver is CMC every year.
And that's not good. That your leading receiver should not be your running back. Yeah, he should be. He could be in the top 3, but he should not be leading your team in your receiving yards.
Now, if you think about it, if Ricky Pearsall stays healthy, well, now you got Mike Evans, Ricky Pearsall,
Yep.
George Kittle, and CMC as a weapon to watch. It is going to be
Yep.
a scary offense, especially if Brock Purdy continues to play the way he's playing.
Well, and that's the thing, Kevin. I know this was your first year with us. When Brock Purdy came out and started balling out, we said, is it the system? And and we can't fault him for being drafted by the Niners, with the good team around him. If I'm Brock Purdy, I keep my ego in check and let them keep building, weapons for me to throw to and stay healthy. I mean, so.
I mean, if I'm them, I'd still either draft another receiver
Oh,
or
yeah.
find another receiver in free agency just because of all the health issues they have at receiver.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, I mean, you can look up and down everybody's roster and be like, well, we should draft a defensive end because our guys are getting hurt. I mean, that's the NFL. It happens. There's not too many people that are going to be like John Thomas and play from snap one and not missing a snap, or Brett Favre until he got to the last couple of years. But they got to do what they got to do. So, Chris, what's the next big name out there that fell today?
Oh, let's see. I have a list here.
Is it Jalen Phillips? Is that one of them?
Well, let's talk about
Phillips.
Okay.
Phillips from the Eagles going to. I'm trying to think of who he went to. I saw it. Who did Phillips go to, Chris?
I'm looking.
I don't think the defense was that good.
I have the list, but I don't.
I'll look it up quick.
Yeah, I know he signed somewhere.
Jalen Thomas, or no? That's not.
No, Jalen Phillips from the Eagles.
I don't know. I don't see it.
Or no, it wasn't Phillips. It was.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yeah, he went to the Panthers.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I guess the Panthers' defense ain't too bad, but
4-year, $120 million.
Yeah. What's that say about Philly now? I mean, everybody's picked a win at the last couple of years. Now they're kind of slowly falling apart. I mean,
they also got rid of Nakobe Dean as well.
Yep.
They have that Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
On open trade, they're listening.
Well, and honestly,
and AJ Brown as well.
If I'm the Bears that almost got Cosby, I might call Philly and see what it'd take to get Carter. I mean, former first round pick 3 years ago, I think. I think he came out either the year of the stud quarterbacks or he came out the year before that. But
why? So he could spit at Dak Prescott's face again?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Let's put him on Dallas and see how that friendship will do. Evolve. So
I want Chicago to go after Trey Anderson.
Well, and that's the name I was just about to bring up too. Bengals, aren't keeping him. So, and I think he was tied to the North last year going to Detroit until that fell through. So, yeah, that'd be another scary guy. Like I said, the Bears could be on the move to run the North here, Kevin. So you might want to get that tickets ready for not just WrestleMania, but maybe the parade route in Indiana there for the Bears to take it home.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, Chris, who's next on the
Travis Kelce staying in the NFL, staying in Kansas City?
I know it was a big story. I don't think it was that big of a deal. I don't think he was going to go anywhere, but you know, I'm kind of tired of the Kelsey talk, because of Taylor Swift. I mean, but he's there. But again, I mean, who's their quarterback going to be for the first 9 to 10 weeks? I mean, what's their record going to be like? So I think if I was Kelsey, I think I would have opted to call it a career. Kevin, what do you think?
I mean, it was so heavily rumored that he was going to stay,
Yeah,
so it was kind of inevitable.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It looked like he was really gonna to leave.
well, I think it was either two choices: he stays or he leaves. I mean, yeah, some teams probably would have thrown some money out there to try to get him. Because he is probably still currently probably one of the top, 7, 8 tight ends in the league. I mean, but I don't think it would have been much money. I think, so, hopefully he does sign or stay with Casey for his whole career. I mean, I think that's one thing the NFL for sure is lacking is the loyalty on players with their teams. Everybody's trying to chase the big buck. So, but what's
Yeah.
next name there, Chris?
You also have Michael Pittman.
You can do Pittman.
Where did Pittman end up at? I think I
Went to
missed
the
that one.
Steelers. He got traded to Steelers.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Pittman, and that, Pittman and Metcalf, and the Pittsburgh just signed a receiver or a running back before we got on. I think it was.
Yeah, Rico
Yeah, it
Dowdle.
was Dab. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're retooling. Kevin, you brought it up before. I think if I'm Aaron Rodgers, this might be. I know Rodgers said this was going to be his final year, but if he's equal to come back, you already know the offense, you know the playbook.
And you got Mike McCarthy as your coach.
Yeah, exactly. Got Mike McCarthy. So I wouldn't blame Rodgers if he says, yeah, I'll come back one more year. I mean, we've seen quarterbacks, aka Brett Favre, retire then unretire and stuff like that. So, but
Right.
yeah, that might be a team. I think I would stick around too.
You also had, we talked about Kyler Murray going, getting out of Arizona. Gardner Minshew signed with Arizona for 1 year, $5.75 million, up to $8.25 million.
Yeah. Minshew going to Carolina, so he's going to mentor their young quarterback
Minshew's going to Arizona.
Oh, yeah. Minshew going to Arizona, who's going to mentor. I don't even know who their backup is right now. I know it was Clayton Tune for a year or two. I don't know if he's still there, but, I mean, Arizona's got. Anybody got the draft? Does Arizona have like the third pick?
I believe they do.
I know they're up there, so maybe if the price is right, and maybe you move up to the Raiders, and you take a flyer on trying to get the first overall pick and take Minnesota. I mean, Kevin, what do you think on that move?
I mean, yeah, Arizona, that would be a decent move for them because Gardner Minshew's also coming off an ACL tear as well.
Yeah.
I think he either tore it the same game or the week later with the Chiefs. So I would not be surprised if they, shot their shot at trying to go up to 1, which everybody's going to do. Everybody's going to try to get the number 1 pick, A lot of teams are.
Yeah, I would say I would bet you if I'm a betting guy, I would say probably half of the teams have called the Raiders to see what it would take to get their first overall pick. I mean, there's a couple teams that aren't going to call. Buffalo's not calling. Houston's not calling. Washington's not calling.
I would say Chicago's probably not.
Chicago. The Giants aren't calling. Dallas might not be calling, but I mean, I would say there's a good chunk of the teams that are definitely calling to see what it would take to get that first. Cardinals, if they're third or fourth, I mean, you flip flop, you throw in a couple, seconds down the road, and maybe another first. That might do the deal. I mean, we all know that the draft is just a big gamble right now because, yeah, they look good in college. They're coming out being high, but, you don't get the right person to fit your system. We know that people are going to struggle. So, but,
Yeah.
but, okay, Chris, what's the next name on the board that fell today?
Let's see. We talked about the offensive guard Josh Simpson for the Ravens. He signed a 3-year, $30 million. Buffalo lost Taron Johnson to the Raiders.
Oh yeah, the Raiders. I think they made like 7 moves. Now, didn't Buffalo sign
D. Alford, cornerback?
Okay. No, that's not who I was thinking of.
3-year, $21 million.
The Ravens tight end Little. Where did he go? Or Lytle, whatever his name is.
Likely.
Yeah, likely.
I don't think it was Buffalo.
No, I know he went somewhere.
They did sign Huntley though.
Oh, he went to the Giants.
Okay.
No.
Ooh.
Tyler Huntley?
No, Isaiah Likely.
Yeah, so Likely, going back to his coach. That's right. He's going back with Harbaugh. So Likely there with a young Neighbors, a young Scadaboo, Dart. I mean, Giants, I'm not going to throw them off there as an early pick, but, if they blew Harbaugh selling and those rookies come back second year strong, that Giants offense could be kind of scary. So,
yeah, it definitely will. Let's see.
You had Wan'Dale Robinson, I think. Didn't he?
You had Chicago signed Kobe Bryant for a multi-year deal.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant. What position does that guy play?
Cornerback.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You can tell his parents were a big Kobe Bryant fan.
That's probably where the name came from. I'm guessing here. Houston got Reed Blankenship. 3 years, $24.75 million.
I think the Titans got Wan'Dale Robinson and Mitchell Trubisky.
And that's the thing too. Titans sitting almost $100 million under the cap going into free agency. I mean, that's a team.
They haven't done much.
Yeah, that's a team to watch out for. Come pre-season and after the draft, when people start cutting. I mean, the Raiders can make a big splash in free agency.
And they did. They got Kwity Paye, I think it is.
Yeah.
The edge from the 49ers.
Yeah, I'll tell you if man, the Raiders might be a team just to keep an eye on, what they do in the draft and what the rest of this free agency. Not saying that they're gonna, turn it around, go last to first, but man, they could be a scary team next year.
New England signed Tommy DeVito.
Yeah,
they signed a bunch of other players, but
yeah, they were kind of going small price tags there, no big splashes. Diggs, I don't think signed anywhere yet.
I don't know if he will.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
If you're Tyreek Hill, do you retire?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because you're not going to be the same after that injury. There's
no way. I think honestly, if I'm Tyreek, I kind of semi-retire, just kind of take this year off, get healthy, and then maybe go somewhere on a cheap deal next year just to kind of prove myself that I'm healthy again. And that's something I kind of said Tua should have done, is kind of just sat out a year, got healthy, and then kind of came back. So, yeah, if I'm Hill, somebody's if it comes to spring train, or when's he due back? Because that was a bad injury. So Hill. So like I said, if I'm Hill, I kind of probably just sit it out and just get the rehab in, and and just see what I can do next year. Chris, what other name? I think that's all the big names that I could think of that signed. Chris, do you have you got the people available still?
Jets got Mika Fitzpatrick from Pittsburgh.
That's right.
Yep. Yeah, the Jets. Let's see what Fitz can do there. But so, Chris, you got the list of people who's left. We know Kyler Murray's out there. Richardson's on the trade block. I don't think he got officially released. We know Aaron Rodgers is out there.
You got Jaquan Brisker and Kevin Byard from the Bears. You have Trey Hendrickson. I think he's an actual free agent, right?
Yeah, I think the Bengals are going to lose him. I tell you what, like I said, Kevin, if he goes to the Bears, man, that's going to be a scary defense.
Yeah, but I need the Bears to re-sign those two people that I just named.
Yeah,
I need both of them back.
Yeah.
You got Deebo Samuel out there.
Deebo's kind of like Hill. He got that injury. Does he come back? He's a gadget player. Maybe he goes back to San Fran and hooks up with them. I think Deebo probably one that'll sign closer to preseason than anything.
Let's see. We talked about Aaron Rodgers. You got Joey Bosa out there.
Yeah, Bosa's another one too that put him on the right defense. He's going to be, he can do some damage.
You got your Vikings player Harrison Smith.
Yeah, Harrison Smith, I still believe has got a contract. I believe. I think he still has 1 year. I think he's a restricted free agent. I don't know that. I hope he comes back. I hope he doesn't sign nowhere else. But if he goes to a team that is Super Bowl contenders, I'm not gonna hate him for it. Because you get to the big game, you want to get to the Super Bowl, you want to get a chance at that ring. Right now Vikings aren't there, so if he comes back, great. If he doesn't, okay. If he decides to go to a contender for a year, more power to him. So,
let's see. You also have David Montgomery. He went from the Lions to the Texans. Speaking of the Texans, Joe Mixon is on the list.
Yeah, Joe Mixon. I wonder what's going to happen with him. That's going to be, and Kevin, you talked about, Kamara might be a fit for Minnesota. Mixon might be, there just be that veteran, back. I would mind Mixon. Mixon's a good runner.
Oh yeah, for sure. That would be another running back if I'm.
Yeah.
Minnesota could probably catch for a cheap deal.
Yeah.
I can go down a few more. There's a bunch of names.
Oh yeah.
I'm just looking at ones that stick out. Let's see here. Cowboys signed a few players that were on the list. You got Glasnow from the Lions.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just weird how, every other sport, when it's free agent, all these contracts are final. It's still a big day. But when it's the NFL, it's not even, it's tampering period, a huge day. People are breaking it on Pat McAfee show who's signing, but nothing's official for a few days. So, but I mean, do we see anybody else signing the next couple days, or was this going to be it? And then we're going to go into a cold spell and ever get ready for the draft. What do you think there, Kevin?
Yeah, I think some of the impact players and bigger names they'll probably sign, but I think a lot of these not so big names they might wait a little bit and see what kind of offers they can get, even if that means waiting till the draft or whatever. But I think the Trey Hendricksons, the interception leader and Kevin Byard and all that stuff, like those people. Like they're probably going to get their contracts and everything. To be honest, you probably won't see as much as you've seen today, though.
No, you never do. Chris, what do you think? What do you think's going to happen? Between now and the official day of free agency and after.
I think tomorrow you'll hear a bunch of names.
Yeah.
And then after that, when it's officially official, I think you'll have that cold spell that day, and then just that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think because I know a lot of teams are now going to be looking at when they can cut players to just have to pay the roster bonus. I mean, we talked about Kirk Cousins. Minnesota's got some people that they got to cut to get under the cap. And again, it wouldn't shock me if Kyler Murray, between tomorrow and the weekend, we hear more steam here in Minnesota that he's talking or signed. Might even show up at the airport. So. But I would expect the Vikings to have some kind of plan in place to have a veteran quarterback way sooner than they did last year. So, but with that being said, guys, I have nothing more. What do you guys have?
I got nothing more either.
All right, Kev?
Nothing that I can think of at the moment.
All right. So, guys, that was our special edition of PrimeTime Blitz. Check us out next Sunday. If I remember right, that is Selection Sunday.
Yes,
Us three, maybe some other guests will be there as we get ready for March Madness. Break down who we think is going to go to the Final Four and hoist that trophy, and maybe talk about a couple players that might have breakout years in the tournament, and who's going to be that surprise team that upsets the 16. It's only happened once, so who's going to be that next one? So, with that being said, we'll see you guys all tomorrow for Between the Ropes. We'll talk about some exciting wrestling, maybe even talk about that wrestling match that broke out in the hockey game on Sunday. With that being said, we'll see you all, I guess tomorrow for Between the Ropes. Have a good one.
Have a good night.